Hi there and welcome back to Japan, where I'm going to be reviewing Impulse by ALIA. And if you want to see the reaction, I just did it. Pause this video, click the link in the description below, and then you can watch the song with me. Otherwise, here comes the review. Are you ready? Alright, here we go. As you probably guessed from the reaction, I really liked that song. I thought that was amazing. I thought it was it was different in a lot of ways from what I'd expected from them. So there are some positive and negatives, and always on this channel, we'll try and delve into everything really and try to pull it apart as honestly as possible. But the first thing that really grabbed me about the song was the fact that it is very instantly, well, grabbing, engaging. It comes in with that riff that almost, I mean, it obviously has the depth that you'd expect from them with the sort of multi-instrumental sound. You know, you've got the piano really starts to cut through nicely and give a little bit of twinkle to everything, give a little bit of intricacy. The violin gives a nice textural boost to it as well, but it's still got the rocky qualities. And yet at the same time, it's so catchy, it could almost be like a pop punk sort of riff. It almost sounds a bit like a Silent Siren style of riff to put at the beginning of a song in a way. And then from there, it does engage in what is relatively underneath everything, relatively simple songwriting. You know, you've got slow chord progressions, you know, a fairly simple melody, but it is all very catchy. It's an example of a song like this, a band like this, who can obviously do something more complicated, going for something that they know is more streamlined and is more likely to be radio friendly, good at sort of bringing across more of a general audience, I'd expect. And this is, of course, me saying this based on this only being the third song I've ever heard by them, but certainly it gives that impression that this is on that side of their repertoire. So it really worked nicely in that sense. It really sort of came across well as a song that was deliberately being easy and accessible rather than just being sort of poorly written. It was, well, I mean, it certainly wasn't poorly written, but just being basically written. It was then that they added a lot of the intricacy and the nuance in the way that they layered things up. I mean, like I say, when you're looking at the bass and the guitar, this was a fairly simple rock song by their standards. They used that nicely. They got the power of the rock band formula, and the guitars, the bass, the drums were all charging along with a lot of energy for the best part. And most of the intricacy was coming then from having the vocals and, like I say, the violin and piano adding a musical nuance to it. The piano for me was really fantastic. I love the way that was used. It was used in the way that you'd expect to use a piano in a song where the more rock elements are relatively straightforward, in that it was picking apart little sort of background melodies and sort of harmonies that were nice to play along underneath the melody to add sort of more depth to the sound of the song. It was really, like I say, just filling in those gaps and giving a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of brightness to everything. And then the violin was coming in. It wasn't so prominent all the way through. I think there might have been bits where it was playing where maybe I didn't notice it as much, but certainly when it came to the forefront, it was almost to back up or, you know, to add more energy to the vocals, because the vocals and the violin were playing in a sort of similar area of the EQ from what I could tell, and it sounded like, you know, the violin was being used to give a little bit more thickness to the vocals. So everything was really playing its part in this song really nicely, and that's the way it came across to me. I should also point out, as well as the vocals, I did quickly allude to this. I quickly said something about this during the reaction, which is that in the similar way that we usually expect from ALIA, they seem to have very quick-fire vocals. I mean, you think about a lot of the classic, catchy arena-style choruses. You know, your Hey Judes and your Living on a Prayer. These sorts of ones are usually very notable by the fact they have quite long-held notes, quite big things that you can really sort of project, so everyone in the crowd can project them. So usually when we think of a catchy chorus, most of the time it's something which is quite easy to sing along. It's usually not something with too much of a fast vocal delivery. So I was impressed with this, but it was quite catchy. But again, like seems to be the case with ALIA, they go for very fast delivery of vocals. One of the best things, and this is where there is a slight mixture between how you write a pop or a rock song and how you'd write something like hip hop, in that if you do faster delivery of vocals, if you do faster delivery of anything, it has the ability to become monotonous quicker. This is why punk songs are so short, amongst other reasons. So the thing that you do to make it interesting is that you have more variation in the rhythm. So you'll tend to find that songs with faster vocal melodies benefit hugely from more changes in the vocal rhythm. And that was something that happened a lot here. It wasn't like she just kept on banging out the same rhythm. There were bits where the vocal was sped up and slowed down and, sort of accented different beats in the rhythm. It was something where it didn't get tiresome. It was somehow catchy. There was a real quality to that. It was almost breaking the rules by how catchy and engaging and almost sing-alongable that very fast vocal delivery actually felt. So I was really impressed by that as well. So overall, yes, this is a song where if we were just to break it down to its basics, there isn't a huge amount of clever writing tricks in the traditional sense going on here. It's a fairly straight rock song, but the techniques used are really good. They managed to deliver something that sounds unique by having the, accenting things with the piano, the vocals, doing the faster things, the violin sort of backing up and adding thickness to certain areas of the song. The bridge I really liked as well. Again, another fantastic bridge where it sort of curved around, was very melodic, went through its various, changes and then came back and threw you into that last chorus with, again, a real sort of energy, a real crescendo quality to it. That was fantastic as well. And but one of the things I liked in the bridge, it had one of those nice elements. You probably know if you've been watching these videos for a while. I have a bit of I don't know why, I have a bit of a soft spot for bridges where they have that sort of descending chord pattern where it goes down, 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 down. I don't know why. I really like that. And so I know on this channel, this is a really weird connection. We've got a lot of people on this channel who responded weirdly, like over a year ago when I first mentioned I was a fan of the somewhat out there English band Cardiacs. One of my favourite moments in all of their songs is at the end of, and I know this is only a small amount of people who know what I'm talking about, but if you are into your music being a little bit crazy and experimental, I would definitely recommend Cardiacs. One of their songs off their last album, Will Bleed Amen, had this fantastic bit at the end where after all of the craziness that happens before, it goes into a simple 4/4 time signature and the 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 like that, and the chord pattern just goes into this descending pattern. Unfortunately, it fades out, but when they do it live, they do it did do it live. It was much longer. And I loved that bit. I thought that was a fantastic way to end the song. And maybe it's that which makes me have a love for those descending chord patterns. But it had that in the bridge, which immediately grabbed me. I know that's such a subjective point. I'd be interested if anyone else wants to comment. Do you like descending chord patterns? Let me know. So yeah, it was just a song that was simple, but in a way that felt intentional. It had detail. It had quality, oozing quality. It had individuality, and I loved the video. I thought the video was really well done. Like I say, it had a certain perfume quality of being very simple and more about positioning everyone in the frame and having like the visual effects appear behind them and the sort of bright neon style visual effects. But I really loved that, and the way that occasionally they had the visuals come out of just the screen and they did some sort of over the top editing to make it look like the visuals were coming into like the front of the frame. It was beautifully done. The framing, again, I thought the framing was really great. How they had some bits where they were alongside each other. The bit where she was walking between all the members, which was again in the descending chord pattern section. There was so many things to like about the video, so many things to like about the song. Yes, I know that this is not probably going to be one which will make the more those who are more interested in having music always be really, really sort of detailed and unique. Some people might find this song underwhelming because of the fact that it is kind of worked on a simple basis, but I really think that it has so much quality and such an obvious intention to be accessible that I can't imagine anyone not liking this. So anyway, as always, you know what to do. I want to hear your opinions now. This is just my subjective opinion. I try to view things objectively as someone who's worked with music my entire life. However, well, not when I was a baby, entire adult life. However, I want to hear your opinions. Get in the comments, tell me what you think. Massive thank you to our Patreon sponsors for sponsoring this channel and getting us through all the hard times. So the link to the Patreon and to all of our other social medias where we're talking about music all the time are in the description below. And until I see you hopefully very soon on my next video, for now, ciao, ciao. No hat.